Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to engage in Sonata's Best Night Ever by Majin Sneeko. They say Crystal City never sleeps. And can you try not to do that, Kiba?
Yeah.
They say Crystal City never sleeps. Certain pockets, however, grew quiet at night. Sonata could smell the negativity as her footsteps echoed off into silence of the neighborhood. See it even. But try as she could, she was unable to digest it anymore. The green tendrils seeping out of the apartments taunted her mercilessly, sending her into a most uncomfortable state. Like a balloon inflated in her chest, balanced on the precipice of anticipation and terror, waiting for the sweet release of emotion, whether it be spicy hatred she was the most a fan of, or tangy despair which would do in a pinch. She'd even take bitter sadness at this point, anything to feel as she once did, but it was to no avail. The teasing was especially cruel, considering she was heading towards the nearest ATM she could look up before her phone died. She grunted as she ruefully recalled Daiji telling her to keep it charged before she left the house. Stupid Sonata. What made it even worse, she needed to get to the ATM because her car ran out of gas. She exhaled through her nose. Crystal City was the only place her phone said had pizza this late at night. So off she gallivanted to Crystal City without checking the gas tank. Like an idiot. The sneaker made landfall in a puddle, lightly splashing the water every which way as she headed towards the ATM. She couldn't even call Daiji or Ari to pick her up. Not that she wanted to anyway. They'll just call her names like stupid, useless, worthless. Sonata wouldn't say they were on good terms before the Battle of the Bands fiasco, but afterwards everything hit the fan. She remembered waking up the next day thinking someone had set her on fire, skin laced with invisible barbs that were piercing her soul. Judging by the mood of the other two, she was presumed that they were going to go through the same thing. Sonata shook her head, thinking how they even had the energy to scream at each other, blaming each other, when she could barely swallow strips of microwave bacon. She didn't have the energy to make herself feel better, let alone the other two. After about 5 days, the symptoms subsided, but a sense of loss and hunger remained. The dreams were worse. She still had her powers, the ability to provoke, ingesting the darkness that resided in people's hearts. She would wake up and swipe at her throat, only to be reminded that ecstasy was forever beyond her reach. She spotted the ATM, beeline towards it, approaching it, gazing at her reflections for a few moments. Her gaunt, raccoon-eyed reflection. She saw no need to take care of herself, now that life has lost its luster. They revealed that. You guys are awfully quiet.
Yeah.
Well, we're listening.
Yeah. Nothing really shocking has happened yet.
I'm waiting for like some Maury bullshit to happen. Be like, and you are not the father. And I'm more like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm just waiting for the part where she jams a knife into someone.
Well, let's see.
Oh, okay, Mr. Krabs.
Okay, let's continue. She pulled her debit card out of her wallet, inserting it into the machine, logging into her account. At least I still have money. It was at this point she felt something cylindrical pressing in the back of her head. Judging by the temperature, metallic as well. Sonata groaned. Look, I don't have time for this. I have a... Girlie, I'll tell you what you have time for. Now, I'm just gonna make my withdrawal now, Sonata said, carefully peering through the options, not really caring if she died right now. Probably save her a whole host of trouble. Money, now! The unknown mugger pressed slightly into her head, leaving Sonata with the window to turn her around, pushing his arm out of the way, kicking him in the crotch. The man curled up as he fell to the sidewalk and a pipe rolled away from him. The breathing became shallow as Sonata clenched her jaw, eyes darting between her incapacitated aggressor and the pipe. She stomped over to the pipe, picked it up, and headed back towards the man. She glared at him, pipe in hand. This is what you try to rob me with? Look, honey, I don't have enough for a gun. What do you think I was... A scream escaped from his lips as Sonata brought the pipe down onto his knee. The sound of bones cracking, veritable music to her ears, as a translucent green fog coalesced from around his form. I don't care. I've had a really bad night, Sonata said as she hammered a pipe into the other leg, the sickening crunch pleasuring her almost as much as his impotent wailing. And you just try to rob me with a pipe!
Oh, snap.
Damn, Sonata, calm down.
No, I can't calm down. He took my tacos.
She walked around him, straddled him, her reasoning that he was in too much pain to fight back. Now give me a good reason why I should let you go, because I have a lot of stress I need to work off. She could smell the ambrosic terror, even taste it as it poured out of him, infuriating her even more. It was as if he was specifically sent to piss her off. His eyes shifted left and right. She could almost see the hamster wheel spinning in his head as his luscious fear clouded her senses. She needed to feed urgently, but couldn't. Too late, she growled. His eyes opened. Wait, what? He was silenced by a swift blow to the head as everything goes to black. When she came to, her face was splattered in blood, and by what used to be in his head. She blinked a few times as she stared at where his head once was. Sonata wiped down the pipe with his shirt and eased herself into a standing position. Not exactly what I need, but it'll do now. She went back to the machine and finished the withdrawal. Pocketing the money, she turned back around, looking at her handiwork. She needed to do something with the body, not to mention the blood covering her face. Sonata looked around and spotted an alleyway with a dumpster. Perfect. Sonata dragged what was once a man into the alleyway, pushing open the cover of the dumpster, the rotten stench of refuse cloying at her throat. She hummed and licked her lips. The resulting sensation almost knocked her off her feet. The beautiful consciousness of panic spidered across her brain and straight into her heart, her breath hitching as she caught the edge of the dumpster for balance. She took a few shallow breaths as tears trailed down her face. She smiled. She coated her fingers with some more of the blood on her face and sucked on it, the new yet familiar rapture popping the balloon in her chest and bringing her at peace as her vision tinted red. Of course. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the story.
That's it.
Yeah, it was pretty short.
Bitches are gonna die because you didn't give me my tacos.
Oh my god. Easy there. Wow.
Like,